going to introduce you a system which not only benefit for the student in university but also the employee in the company. The system is project management system. Now, I am going to start to introduce myself and also my teammate. First, my name is N1N253629 and she is Simlai 253290.
My name is Lim. My batch number is 254017.
My name is FANG. My matrix number is 253344.
Now, let me start our presentation with introduction. Okay, next, to make this simple and easy, without any long paragraph, we just make it into 5 questions, which is what, why, how, who, and where. First, what? What is the project management system? Project management system is a system that helps the user to manage the project. Second, why? Why we want to have this system? Okay, let me to ask you, how do you track your project and how do you track your assignment? Normally, we track our project and track our assignment by using communication tools such as WhatsApp, Messenger, and you have to keep on calling them for ask them to update their progress. It's totally wasting of the time. And to make this simple, we make a system which is project management system to have everything within the system, and you can directly trace the project in the system. So why I want to make this system is they can work efficiency and increase the productivity. Next, how we make this system actually is how we design and how we analyze and design this system. We choose rational unified process, which is object-oriented development methodology. Next, okay, who? You might ask, why I create this system? Is this for fun or for business use or how? Okay, currently our target user is student in university because they are required to do 3 or more assignments in 1 semester. And next is employee in a company. Normally, your boss will ask you to make the project or create a project or run a project. So you can directly use this system to run your project and trace all the progress to make it and increase the quality. Where? And for this system, we only require you to connect to Wi-Fi and you can use the system at anywhere, even at overseas or in local. Next. Okay, next. We are going to the main idea of project management system. Next. Okay. Main idea of the project management system is the estimation of activity. Means that you can trace, what I say is you can trace your project and trace your activity and your progress. And your member are they done their job or submit on time or submit late than the time. That's it. Next, scheduling. Because we have a timetable and a calendar in the system. So you can schedule which one do you want to done first, which task the due date is nearer. So you can decide which one to be done or which one to be done later. Next. Third is budget control. Budget control is project manager has to set a budget for all the project. Because when you want to run your project, it must have a budget, right? Even that you printing or you need what paper, you have to buy the paper to write or for printing or anything else. So you have to set a budget. So for this system, it can help you to have a budget control. Next, quality of management means that you don't have to calling them and keep on to ask them the progress of the project. You can just direct check the system and get all their progress. So it is, and at the same time, you can increase your quality of the project, and you can increase the quality of the management also. Next. Increase the quality of the project is like what I said just now. Okay, next. First, now we are going to list of requirement. First, we are going to present about the functional requirement. First is register to the system, log into the system, manage project, trace the project, view the contents of the project, give notifications, and provide communication tools. First, we are going to discuss about register to the system. Okay. The project and manager and the member have to create the new accounts and add their personal information before they can use the system, which is name, ID number, password, address, company, their qualifications, and phone number. And this is one of the example of our register form. Okay, next. Second, register or log into the system. Okay, first, after you register, right, the system will automatically save your data in the database. Means that if the system didn't save your data, then how many times you register, you still can't use your ID and password to log into the system because the system does not recognize your data. Okay, so for the system log into the system, they have to use their username and password to log into the system. And this is the interface of the log into the system. Next. Manage project. Manager and member, project manager and member have different authority to manage the project. First, I'm going to talk about this project manager. Project manager can create a new project, can add new member, can set due date, and assign tasks to the member. And next, he can set the budget. The main is the budget, and at the same time, only project manager can delete the new project. To prevent, like, if the member is having conflict with project manager and it gets stressed off and delete everything. So this is a very bad, for me it's like a situation, it's a very bad thing. So to prevent this kind of thing happen, so only project manager can delete the project and the member. Okay. Now we are going to this member. Member have to and are giving authority to update their progress of the project to the system, and at the same time they can give advice and comment to the other member project. And it can increase the can let the member to make an improvement for the project. Next, project manager and member can make a remark. Example, if they have added something new or if they have changed something that may be different from the description of the project, they have set a remark at the project there. Next, the member must update the project before the due date. Because if you after due date, you will get a warning notification. Okay, next. Project manager and member can view the progress of the project, which means they can see is it ongoing, complete, or the progress, and like example, task already done, task already done. Okay, next. The project manager and member can update the project by using this text box. This is one of the example. And the text box automatically saves the time and date, which means you cannot say you already submit on time or you submit before the time, because it will automatically save the time and date, the date that you submit. Okay. Okay. Next, project manager and member able to search the task, which means if you have a list of tasks have to complete, you can direct search the task which one you want to complete first and what progress. Okay. Next. First, view the contents to the system. Okay. First, project manager and member can view the personal information, which means they can see their qualification, their address, and at the same time they can update their personal information also, but cannot update, cannot change ID and password, because at the same time at the beginning of the register system, we have given you a confirmation page for you to confirm again your ID and your password. Okay, next. Project manager and member can view their daily tasks and the calendar, which means we have installed a calendar into the system for use of the project manager and member to trace their to check their times and which task and the due date of the task. Okay, next. Project manager and member can view the list of tasks that they are assigned, which at the same time you can check their progress, ongoing, ingoing, complete, or how. Okay. Project manager and member can check the project description for every department, which means when the project manager and member want to know every description of each department, you can just click the task and automatically will show everything, even the member, and who is the project manager, who is the member, and then your contribution. Why you want to give notification to the user? Normally, how you want to trace your project and how to submit your project? Because sometimes how to say, humans is always forgetful. They will forget what to be the due date and when they want to submit their project. And this system is giving a benefit, which is if direct give notification to the user that starts the due date of the task a day before the due date of the task. Okay, next. Okay, this one is example of the notification and the apps there. Okay. Okay, next is giving warning if the user or either is project manager or member if they didn't submit their task on time. Okay, it's a very important thing to submit your project on time, because even the project manager have to check the due date. And if you are an employee in the company, if the customer asks you to request the project at a certain time and you didn't submit it before, then you will lose the trust of the customer. So it's better to submit it on time or before. If really you didn't submit on time, then this is the reason why you get a warning notification. Okay, and the system will give a notification. It's very important. The system will give a notification when a project manager assigns a task to you and a position. Because if you didn't give the notification, you won't know that you have a task to complete. You are set as a treasurer, but you don't know anything. So we are giving you a notification when the project manager assigns it to you. And next, last. Okay, to make everything simple and make this system perfect, we are setting a messenger in the system for the project manager and the member to have the communications within the system. Because you don't have to use your phones on your laptop open at the same time just to communicate or make discussion. You can directly use this system to make the discussion. Okay, next is also setting a step for the project manager and member to have a virtual meeting. So you don't need to meet face to face. You can directly meet online, and depends on the time that you are free and your project manager or your member is free. Okay, and to make it, you will ask if after that I leave the group or I leave the group or I close the window, and will the data still at that? Yes, because the system will automatically store the data. If like for messenger, it will store like normal. When you click the contact person, the conversation between you and the member will directly display. But it's quite difficult is for Skype, because if you have a virtual meeting, the Skype will automatically record the video for you. So means that you don't need to record by yourself. At the same time, if you didn't want the video and you ask, this is wasting of the space in my phone or my laptop, okay, this system will automatically delete the virtual meeting or the video 1 month after that. Because normally we finish our project is in 1 month. If you are longer, then you will have to download the video by yourself. Okay, next. Next, we are going to discuss about the non-functional requirement. First, operation requirement. The system is able to connect a wireless printer for the user or for the project manager and member to print the document they have uploaded into the system. Example like the task or the picture or the link, they can directly use it to download. Okay, next is the system will automatically back up all the documents that users send to the system, which means if the system didn't store it or didn't save it, then you upload it how many times, 10 times, still the project manager and members still cannot see your project. So this system will automatically store all the data. Okay, and back up. Next, performance requirement. If the system normally, our system is easily get crashed. So if the system get crashed, for our system, if you reload again the system, it will perfect after that. It can show everything after that. So means you don't have to refresh again and again unless you didn't connect to Wi-Fi. Then you have to connect to Wi-Fi. That's only that you can use. If not, you didn't connect to Wi-Fi, you know how many times the system also won't have any different. Okay. If you forget your username and your email address and you only remember your password, what should you do? Okay, we allow you to use your phone number as other option to log into the system. So if you forget also your phone number, then nothing can redo for you, okay? Okay, next. Project manager and member have to wait 10 minutes, which means if you click on forget your ID or your password, or the ID and password is not matched, if you have tried 3 times about it, you have to wait 10 minutes for the next try. Because it's to prevent that people using your ID or your people know your ID or you know your email address is trying to log into this system to change something or make some spoil some or spoil something. So we just make it. You have to wait 10 minutes and try to have another try. Okay, next. Project manager and the member have to answer 2 security questions, which means if you remember your ID but you forget your password, then you can get back your password again. But then at first you have to remember your ID or your email address or your phone number. You will have to answer 2 security number, and the system will direct send an email or message to your phone the actual password or the password that you have set for the system. Last, project manager and member can only use 1 device to log into the system, which means if you use laptop to log into the system, you cannot use phone. It's to prevent that if you are using too many things and maybe you are using your laptop, but actually you didn't log in by using phone, but someone is using phone to log into your system. So we are setting something to prevent this happen. Then so project manager and member can only use 1 to prevent this case happen. Now I pass to my partner.
Okay, now I'm talking about the use case specification. Okay, in the use case specification, I will focus on the use case 3, which is managed project. In this managed project is got 2 present, which is project manager and member will use the managed project. In the managed project, there are 10 functions, which the first is the add new project. And project manager can add the new project after register and log into a system. And second is add new member. After they add a new project, then they can use the ID to use email address member to add a member inside the system. Okay, the next. And project manager also can edit the description like what is about the project to make the member more understand about the project is after add the member inside the system. And next, set budget. Project manager has to set the budget to estimate costs for each of the sub project in the system to make sure no excess. Project manager and member can set remark in the process of the project. And next is assign tasks and set a due date. After every member is inside the project, and project manager will assign each of the member have own tasks. Means each member has different tasks, and project manager will set a due date for each of the sub project. The member should follow the due date and submit before the due date. Next, just now I already said that the project manager will set the budget and will make sure that budget will not exceed. Get advice. This member can give advice to in the system that or the other to give other member can make improvement. Update the program task. Members should update the each progress. Like for example, one week should submit the currently processed into the system. Okay, delete. After complete the project, project manager can make project, the process. The member has authority to update and give a why to the project. The preconditions the managed project is have different authority. Project manager and member have different authority and in the managed system, and before and after they register and log in, then they can in next to the manage panel. If not, they cannot access because it should be register first and log in first. Next, the characteristic of the division we use is event driver. Okay. This is the flow of events. Okay, first, the project manager will keep the managed project page panel, which is after register and login. They will hit the button, and then next the system will display one button with a new text, new project for create a new project. So project manager will hit the button new project. Okay, after hit the button, the project manager can add the member inside by using their email address. And next, after add all the members, and the project manager will click the save button. If project manager does not complete the information, then the system will stop to create the project, and the system will give notification the star with red color. Then notice that project manager should write again in the system. Okay, next is system. After add the member inside, then we'll go to the next panel, which is description panel. Description project. This system will display text box to indicate the description, such as the description of the project are going to members. This project manager will key in the project the description. After type the description, then project manager can start to assign the task to the member. Each member has different tasks. Project manager will give the task as long as this. Project manager after give the task, then project manager will set the due date for member to complete the task. After project manager will set the budget of the project, and because the project budget cannot be accessed. After in the process, a member can give advice to the other members that they are already upload the project, and to give some advice like if think that there are other information can upload in the system. Project manager and member can give set a remark to the system if got information like got problems or something can write in this text box to ask other members to help. And next, project manager will after key in all the information like the advice and the remark, project manager should click the save button to save all the information. If not, it can get cancelled and will edit again. After project manager and member click the save button, the system will automatically update the progress of the project in the description project panel. Next one will update the progress of the in the system that has done. Next is after in the last project manager can delete the project and members and by hit the delete button. The system will display the task form that manager can delete the due date of the task and next. Last is the project manager can delete the member in the project after the process of the project is complete and already submit. In this we doesn't have alternative flow because all the flow is already inside. Only one flow, so no alternative flow. We have essential flow, which is if the information not complete, then the system will stop, and then essential 2 is cancel. If project manager click cancel, and it will display the previous panel. In the conclusions, that the flow of event is the first is add the new project and add the new members, and project manager can edit the descriptions, and 4 is set the budget in the project, and next is assign the task and the due date for the members, and member can upgrade. Member can give advice in the system, and project manager and member can set the remark, and they will set all the information, and member will update the progress of the task, and the project manager are allowed to delete the project and the member, and the due date of assign the task. Now I pass to my partner.
But post condition, the information will update automatically after the project manager and member update. Then each of the member and the project manager have their own authority to manage this project. Next is the rules. Only project manager can add new members through the email address. And last is the constraints. Each of the member must submit the task on time that assigned by the project manager. If they submit after the due date, then they will receive the warning notification. Then the project manager will also set a budget for the project so that they can make sure that the money didn't over budget. So next, now I'm going to talk about the activity diagram. We are using the star UML to do the activity diagram. Okay. As you see on the screen of this activity diagram, there are 3 swim lanes, which are project manager, members, and also system. The diagram starts with the project manager. Click the Manage Project at the Manage Project page. Then after that, the system will display the button New Project on the screen. After that, the project manager will add new member to the project by keying their email address. Now there are a decision for the system which are complete and not complete. If they are not complete, that means the project manager didn't complete keying the information of the members. So the system will display the star with the red in color at the column that the project manager didn't fill in. After that, the system will ask the project manager to add member again. If that is complete, and then the system will display the save button for the project, and after that, after click the save button, the system will display the description project. the system will display the text box for project manager to add the description for the project. So the project manager will fill in the description of the project. After that, after finish key in the description of the project, the system will display the text box for project manager to assign the task and set the due date for the members. So automatically the project manager will fill in the tasks for the members and also set the due date for the members that the task already assigned from the project manager. After that, the system, because a system need a budget, a project need a budget to make it, so the system will ask the project manager to set a budget. So automatically the project manager will set the budget so that can make sure that didn't overuse or over budget. After set the budget, the system will display the text box for each member to get the advice so that they can make the improvement. After that, the system will display the text box for the project manager and members to set the remark of the task. Okay, now there is two options on the system, which is save and cancel. Then, if they have already set the remark, they can save. Project manager and member, both of them can click the save button to save the remark. If they didn't make any remark, so they can choose to click the cancel button. After they click the cancel button, the system will show the previous panel, which is description panel. Description project panel. So the flow will be repeating again. Now we are going to talk about the save option. If project manager and members is doing a remark on the task, so they can click save button, and then the system will automatically update for the remark at the description project panel. So after that, the member has to update the progress of the task before the due date. The member update the progress of the project, then the project manager can have two options, which are delete and do not delete. That means the project manager is allowing to delete the task that was uploaded by the project manager. If the project manager want to delete the task, then the system will display the text box for project manager and member to give notification that this task or this project already deleted. After that, the project manager can also delete the member of the project. For the do not delete option, if the project manager do not want to delete anything or the members, even the task, so they will straight away go to the end. So this is the explanation of the activity diagram. Now we are going to make a conclusion of this system. So we think that this system brings benefits to university students and also employees, and this is a very systematic system because it will give you the notification that the task is already assigned or the due date is already nearby, or you will give you the warning notification if the project is already due date. For our presentation, thank you.